Oh no! Oh no, this is horrible, Charles.
Welcome back to another Banana Podcast. My name is Justin.
My name is Charles.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
It was a bit of a disaster.
There was.
I spilled a Coke.
He did.
It was
just like
really bad.
And then
the whole thing. And
speaking of,
if I'm not careful,
I forgot that I had a Coke.
I might do it again. So welcome back to the No Big Banana Podcast.
I already told him that, Charles.
I'm trying this out. This new
Tell us what you think.
So we're gonna see how it goes.
Still, we're experimenting.
Okay, so I've got things on
like
my
pretty
phone.
much everybody in college. We're experimenting.
Okay, I like that. I wrote some things down. I got a lot of stuff, man. Starting with Kevin Durant is 2 years younger than me.
How old is that?
33. Well, I'll be 35 at the end of this month. I just, in a podcast, I don't know if it was the last one or the one before, probably the last one. I was talking about how Kevin Durant's getting a little long in the tooth for a basketball player.
No shit, yeah.
Which is kind of true, I guess.
I guess.
I mean, guys these days play, I guess, into their 40s. Somebody out there is still playing. Somebody still playing for Miami?
I don't know.
Udonis Haslem.
You're asking the wrong guy.
That guy's like 40 years old. Anyway, I just felt like it was a little out of pocket of me to be like, oh, getting a little long in the tooth. And it's like, Kevin Durant's 33.
Hey.
And I'll be 35.
Well,
so.
as a 31-year-old, I can say that. So whatever you said.
Oh, God, you're 31?
Yeah.
I don't know. 35's okay. It's not 40.
Yeah. Yet.
So... That's true. I guess it's closer to the other side of 40. Also, I'm not on Facebook anymore, just so everybody's aware of that.
Me neither.
Oh, this is something that's pertinent to you and I'm very surprised that I saw no response from you about it at all, and no comments about it. The dude that did the spray paint art of Chopper and Inosuke.
Yes, I saw that. I forgot. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, that was clean.
Yesterday, I went on there and he was making.
Put it up. On
he
screen.
Was making. I did save the screenshot.
Yeah, you goddamn right. Fuck yeah.
He was making one with Tanjiro. Who did it have? Because I wrote it. Oh yeah, Tanjiro, Spawn, and.
I mean, like the
Luffy. Was it Luffy? Hold on. Let me check the screenshot. It was somebody from One Piece.
Might have been Zoro.
What's been going on One Piece? You want to give us a One Piece update?
Oh, shit.
Spoiler? One Piece update. Yeah, spoiler alert if you're not. Although I feel like, how many people watch One Piece that aren't current?
Well, I mean, obviously, like the manga's further ahead than the show is.
Also, statistically, there's so many episodes.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of people that are watching that aren't caught up.
Yeah. I mean, I think less than you'd think. Because I think at this point, it's either like you jumped on the bandwagon. Or, I mean, honestly, you can kind of start at Wano. It's fine. You'll miss a lot. But, like, there's probably going to be flashbacks to explain, like, give you the, relevant information about that. Like who's related to who or whatever. To get through it, but they're almost done with the fight, which is kind of cool between Luffy and Kaido. There's a new form of Kaido's. He's completely on fire, so it's kind of cool.
Kaido?
Yeah, the big dragon guy.
Oh yeah, he's on fire.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's always been able to, like, part of the mythical zone fruit that he ate. It's like Gyarados, so it's like a carp that jumped upstream and became a dragon. That's his thing.
Heck yeah.
And he's also like the first time you see him in the show, he's trying to kill himself. Because he's like unkillable. He's just too strong. Like he's the strongest creature. Like there's nothing.
That's what I was. That reminded me of the thing I was going to say to you as I spilled the Coke.
Oh, what was?
Which was that I was watching the podcast. Bill Maher. I told you Bill Maher has a podcast now.
The Monday morning podcast?
No. That's Bill Burr.
Oh, right.
Bill Maher.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Maher has a pod now. It's called Club Random.
I like Burr more than...
And it's, I do too. But but the guests that he's had on.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about
that's
that. Like,
the thing,
it's just
y'all.
like stacked deck.
It ain't even about Maher. Like, for me, Maher is like, okay.
Yeah.
But
he seems like out of touch, but
I don't think he's like.
I think
great.
he's good. I think he's got good intentions and he's well natured, but I think he's just out of touch.
He's just, I think, a
Because
little too old and a little
and-
too rich
Yeah.
to be in touch with what's going on. Well,
But yeah, so he's a dragon.
so he's had all these like hitters on his pod. Quentin and Shatner was on there, and most recently Mike Tyson.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know if you saw about that shit with him beating that dude.
Yeah. He didn't get charges pressed.
Holy
against
hell!
him.
I know. I'm so
It's
happy.
awesome. Yeah.
I know. It's fair. That guy was an asshole.
And
That guy was an asshole.
Listen. Mike Tyson, like when he was at his prime, he was like 19. Okay,
Yes.
he was killing people
Iron
in
Mike
his
Tyson
time.
was just out
So,
of
like,
control.
Even now, even like out of practice a little bit, like
Yeah.
he'll still crack your skull in. Like, show the man some respect.
You couldn't believe how much Bill Maher was trying to deter him from fighting.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say that. He wasn't overly aggressive with it, but
No,
he
no.
was very like, "Oh, come on, man, you're 55," and it's like, "Bro, Bill,
I'm still
Mike Tyson's 55.
I'm still Iron Mike, motherfucker.
Yeah,
You know, like,
Mike Tyson's 55 ain't your 55.
Swear to God, yeah.
I hate to tell you. Like, I'm sure, Bill Maher seems to be in pretty good shape, I guess.
Nah.
But, like,
Nah.
you weren't the heavyweight champion of the world, dog. Like, Mike Tyson would easily, I think, put
Clock you.
Jake Paul to sleep. 'Cause
well,
you
yeah,
know
I mean,
that's who
he's
wants
even.
to
Well, I
fight
mean,
him.
it's also like a complete. Like, isn't he in bigger weight class?
I don't know.
Is
I don't know
Jake
how
Paul
that
a
would
heavyweight?
work. I think so.
What if he is?
Look, man, that kid can box.
He can.
Not for nothing.
I'm not kidding.
I don't
yeah.
think he could beat
Listen,
Mike Tyson.
no.
I think that's insane.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know how.
Um,
Like, yeah, there's no way you can take that. Like, more than. I don't understand how anyone can take more than one hit from the guy.
I know.
Like, I just.
It was kind of amazed seeing that
It's like
video
Butterbean,
too. That it's
you
like,
know.
man,
It's like Butterbean or like Don Fry back in his prime, just
any
like
of those guys, man.
clocking
George
people,
Foreman,
just dust in their face.
You're just asleep.
Ugh,
That's it.
I love boxing.
Call
man.
the paramedics. Yeah.
It's sad that MMA kind of killed it, but
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think people still like boxing.
I'm surprised that there's a resurgence on YouTube about it. I don't. I wasn't. Like I think Ego Raptor, like Aaron Hansen, is boxing against Harley from Epic Mealtime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would rather watch boxing than MMA.
I think it's I just there's a part of me that when it gets to the grappling matches for a while, and when it's like neither one is like budging a lot, and it's just kind of a lot of like technical maneuvering.
Yeah.
It's
and
like
it becomes.
I kind of just want to see you punch each other in the face a little bit. Like,
Yeah. Well,
even like kickboxing is fine, but
the
like
thing about it too
punch
is
him in the
that
face.
a lot of the fans of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or excuse me, I should say MMA, but to your point about all the grappling.
I mean, it is like the main, because it's the easiest way to like knock somebody out.
Oh
is
yeah.
just to put them in a
Well,
hold.
and that was the whole point of MMA, right? Was to
Yeah.
bring all of the martial arts together and figure out which was the most effective. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, turns
Turns
out
out,
it's Brazilian
yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah. If you can get your hands on 'em, you can
and
get 'em to the
Muay
ground.
Thai,
Fuck
and
'em.
there's a handful of them that are just like,
I think like Kaji Kenbo or something was like in Hawaii. I think there was like natives and like there was a lot of like Navy personnel coming to the island and then like like having their way with women there and then like dipping out. So they
Yeah.
created like a self-defense martial art form, and it's like pretty much just all the kill strikes, like eyes, throat, balls
hell
from like
yeah,
every
man.
like it's basically just like
well, that's what it should be anyway.
that's their entire thing. Is just like I had a friend that was like practicing it. It was like, yeah, he's like, it's really unfair. It's like it's a not fucking around. Like it is as efficient as it could possibly be to like
Yeah.
just incapacitate you and like get you out.
Yeah.
Which is,
That's the goal, right?
that's it. That's
You
what it
gotta
is.
stop the person trying to kill you.
It's kind of like, I don't know, like the idea of like a fencing sword always kind of like fucked with me a little bit, because like the point of it being all bendy is that when it gets inside, it's supposed to like pierce everything on its way in and out.
Oh no.
And it's like, it's just efficient. Like you just,
Man, fencing was a thing that always like that's another one of those in a different life. Oh,
I
of
used
course,
to
maybe I
fence.
could still take it up.
I used
There's
to
nothing
fence.
stopping me. Oh yeah?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Which thing? Don't they have different things? There's foil, and then there's saber, and
mostly foil. I think it's like foil saber. Like it's basically like the one is like the dummy one, which is like the foil with usually with a rounded tip on it, but it's just the basic like I think poker.
yeah.
And then a saber is the one where it's got it all along the side, and there's like a cap in the back, because the idea is you're supposed to smack it so you can like rip the tendons out there.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's just designed to. It's
Is this
elegant.
French shit?
I have no idea.
I bet you it is.
It was like
up.
I was in high school and I found out that I could take fencing as a way to like get PE credit because I didn't want to take a dance class, so I took fencing.
That's oh my god, that's the bougiest shit I've ever heard in my life.
It was awesome.
You took fencing as an elective in high school?
Yeah,
What the hell?
just to get out of dance class, really.
Bro, I took. You know what my elective in high school was? Typing.
Again, also like the school, like it was my one way to get out of the dance class because that was required. Like that was the PE.
Oh no, I get
dance. And so it was like,
But
I
you
need to
had
get the
the
fuck out.
option.
Yeah, I had a friend that was doing it, so I was like, yo, and it was cheap as shit. So it was like, just a small little thing with like 12 to 14 people.
Let's see
was
this
cool.
thing. Fencing traces its roots to the development of swordsmanship for duels and self-defense. Fencing is believed to originate in Spain. Oh.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's
some of the most significant books on fencing.
Pretty efficient, yeah. But it's also really elegant, so whatever.
Yeah, it always. Yeah, I like that about.
Basically, you've got like the 4 quadrants that you're like going for, and then the other person. So like you're trying to like figure out. That's why you do like the hand feint in the back, to get the distraction, so you can find the right spot to get in, because it's just the 4 points of contact.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah,
Fencing's cool. Boxing's cool.
It was fun.
Cricket is really
hurts like
cool.
a bitch though.
Oh, I bet.
Oh,
Also, like,
especially when you're with somebody that like doesn't fuck around.
I should reiterate,
Getting
in another
smacked by that
life,
shit. It's just like getting smacked by like an iron whip.
Yeah,
It sucks.
in a different life, because the amount of dexterity and just like athleticism
Yeah, I think stamina for me is
to
also
compete
like
on a
really bad
level.
one.
Also, I feel like fencing is one of those things that's like, if you're
Get
not
it?
going for the Olympics,
Well, I mean, there's
there's doing it for the hobby of it, I
Yeah,
guess.
just for the love of the sport, I guess.
Oh yeah, and there's our motorcycle right on. It's like they do laps.
Yeah, because they gotta. It's the mating call.
It's way bizarre.
It's the Floridian mating
It's
call.
way bizarre. It's like, why would you do that in a residential area? Why wouldn't you just
to try to lure out
somewhere.
Florida girls.
Yeah. What else? What other notes do I have? I have a note about TikTok Eagle. So one of the things I've been into now is the TikTok lives.
I'm sure.
There's lives.
There's a
on
lot of
there
things about TikTok you like.
that are Eagle.
Yeah.
It's GoPros that have been attached to eagles.
Oh, that's dope.
And it's just eagles flying around.
Yeah.
Although I saw one the other day that I later discovered was on a loop. And I was like, oh, that's annoying. But it is
I think
still
so, too.
cool. Because,
Yeah.
it is still like a real eagle who's just out there
That is pretty cool.
cruising, bro.
Put it on
Like,
the screen.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
maybe.
kidding.
I don't know. There's been a mistake. I'm supposed to be a butler. Oh, my God.
That sounds like a.
An anime?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted it to. I had an idea for this.
Okay.
It took me everything to not talk to you about it the other day because I wanted to talk to you about it fresh on the pod.
Okay.
So,
Pod exclusive.
characters, folks.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing this more, by the way. We're going to be building characters. In fact, we can even do it if you want.
Oh yeah.
But this guy,
If you're feeling
I
Randy,
thought about a guy that
name
was,
him Randy.
So in this kingdom, there are all these different like royal families, like Downton Abbey type stuff, like
A
just
reference
lots.
I do
It's
not
just
get.
lots of rich families that have
Gotcha.
like servants.
Okay.
And so in a world like that, if you grow up in a village like that and you're not part of that family, then you probably work for that family in
Yeah.
one way or another.
Yeah.
And actually, like in Downton Abbey times, working as a servant for a family like that was like a prestigious position.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like
It was an honor.
weren't like,
It was an honor to.
yeah.
Serve.
And so I'm thinking, well, what if this guy grew up in a village like that where it was
Okay.
the highest honor to serve royalty? And so he was raised to be a butler. and to be the best butler that ever buttled in town. And so he becomes such. Like, nobody's a better butler than this guy. And so he gets assigned to this family he has this family, and he's just like so good that he gets recommended for a better family.
Right. Just like higher up on the echelon.
And so eventually he gets like, he gets assigned to be a butler for like the royal family of like that, whatever part of the kingdom it is. So like the most important people there, he's going to be the butler for. And the person that he's the butler for happens
to be a 6-year-old child who has a problem with urinating.
No, but he's what is this? Devolving into a Rob Schneider film?
Yeah,
it turns out he's got to potty train this kid.
Turns out that
he's
doesn't.
8.
Yeah. Schneider.
Rob Schneider is poop butler.
Rob Schneider is butt master.
The prince that he gets assigned to,
Andrew,
who is like, he's the new prince. Like his parents just recently died.
Oh, okay. So he's like,
like fresh guy in charge. And something happens where there's an emergency and he dies. And on his deathbed, he bestows like this family power to his butler, like instead of like one of his family members, because they weren't able to get there in time or something.
Like One for All
from
My Hero, like passing on down from generation, like
yes.
Power. Okay.
Yeah.
Like compounding it.
Yeah, and so when he passes this power on to this guy, he like has to take on all this responsibility and be a hero now. And so that's why it's called There's Been a Mistake, I'm Supposed to Be a Butler.
Oh, okay.
Because he now has to become this hero.
Now he's stuck in this position that he doesn't
but
want to do.
He has all of these like idiosyncrasies about him that are just like very Butler-esque.
Yeah, he can't help it.
Like he just like has to like remind himself to not like serve people.
Like he goes on a date, but he just like stands by the side with the plate.
Yeah,
like she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I've served you your meal."
Yeah. And she's like, "Well, you're not going to eat with me," and he's like, "Oh no, I've already eaten."
I don't.
Yeah. Like he can't stop being a butler, but he has to because he needs the kingdom needs.
Yeah, that's actually kind of cool
to be a hero. So then, how do you write that? That's
actually a unique idea.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well. What if you apply that to a D&D character? And now your cleric, Carl Dandleton, is supposed to be a butler.
Okay.
But he's a cleric. And he was given this like magic by this
sense.
prince that he was serving that died.
I do like that. Well, maybe like...
So he has to like reconcile in his head being someone who serves
maybe
people.
It's more like... I feel like... obviously, like there's kind of got to be like... or at least for me personally, like I think... having a power that doesn't feel like is completely foreign to somebody who is like in help. So like maybe like a sorcerer, like it passes on the ability to like use nature magic or something.
Nature magic.
Yeah.
What do
like
I live at an airport?
Or like I don't know. That's the father going after the daughter.
Druid magic?
Yeah, maybe a druid or something. Like so he can like shapeshift or something.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can kind of play with it however you maybe that's an interesting way to like have it as a like placeholder is like you can use this default and then you kind of can fit into each of the different forms. Anything magic oriented, I think. I don't think any like combat abilities would be passed on, no.
Probably not. Which would add to the interest of the character because it's like if you get into combat with this guy,
it's like he can
he's support.
He can. Yeah. So, okay. Maybe, yeah.
But I mean, he can, but that, I think that's what, I don't know. I feel like 5e lost that, like building bad qualities into your characters, I think is essential for enjoying the game as much as possible. Like, dude, the Studebaker Peppercorn having a horrible memory is like my favorite thing about him.
Yeah.
Is because like at just any moment he just starts wandering off and like, sure, it's dangerous as shit. Not only for me, but my whole party. But that's
what he would
Studebaker
do.
Peppercorn,
Yeah.
baby. He's
Well, it was yeah.
he's a,
Hell
he's
yeah,
a
baby.
100-year-old turtle who doesn't know where he is.
That's
and,
how
like,
I felt about my
forgets.
the bard that can't play music. Like
Yeah, dude.
he physically
Cadwallader?
yeah, Cadwallader, right?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, he can't play music.
Yeah, man.
Like like the point is like to the point where I put in his like because they give you like a little section for like your strengths, your neutral, and like your bad side. So for my like whatever it is, whatever it's called, was like an instrument literally like burns to ash in my hands. Like I physically can't play any music.
Oh, that's way cool.
But like my parents are musicians,
Right.
so that's why I got bitter.
So
about the
they
world.
think that you're like Damien from The Omen.
No, they're no, because I also like I hate that trope of like your dead parents. Like they are overbearingly loving.
Oh, well, that's good.
Like to the point where like they'll embarrass the hell out of you. Like there's nothing he can do wrong. So that's why he's like going off on a journeys because he's trying to figure out how to like either A, get good enough at something to earn a living, or B, scam something out so he has enough money so he can pretend and tell his parents that he did this thing to get them off his back without actually having to do it. So
Yeah. Yeah,
he was
man.
a deadpan comic.
Gosh, that would be real fun to play as like Cadwallader and Carl Dandleton.
Oh yeah.
And I'll just
Yeah.
be like the cleric butler. Because I was looking at clerics last night. But I don't know. Anyway, the thing about 5e, like the no negatives to racial traits was like the first thing that I was like, really?
Yeah, but fucking do it yourself
But,
at home.
but to be fair,
Just homebrew it.
4e started that.
Yeah. You can always just brew it in.
4e started no negatives to racial traits.
Just add them. I mean, if everybody at the table agrees.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean,
I
they
just- I
have
feel
the
like
whole like create your own.
If I'm being
class
honest,
thing,
it
too.
kind of feels like one of those things where it's like, okay, well, you can do it however you want to do it, and that's always how they've done it. They just have like the skeleton, and you can like break some bones and replace them, and that's always been like part of the allure, right? Like you can do whatever you want with the game.
Yeah.
So it feels kind of like, just add in just be like, hey, for this game, if you're this race, you get a negative to this stat. It's 3-5 in that regard for this.
Yeah. I mean, it is part of the allure, but it's just like, I don't know. It's the difference between like getting a box of like Tinker.
I also, for clarity, I'm not like an expert in 5e, and I've never played 3.5 or 3.75.
Okay.
So just if anyone's like I don't know.
That's why we need to play 3.5, man.
Yeah, I'd love to. Put in the comments if you'd like to see that shit.
Yeah. Let's play
Not a
3.5.
shitting, but that game.
Ooh, dude, that could be what we call it. Because we play.
Yeah.
The first one was We Play, and then the second one was Airships of Nuada. We should do one called Let's Play 3.5.
Okay. If I get to be
It's the difference between getting like a box of loose Legos and a pre-made Lego thing. It's like, you could still take the new thing apart and put it back together however you want. It's just a different presentation.
Okay.
Like all of the parts are still there.
I feel like
that's undeniable, but it's just that like I feel like in 3.5 you were given more of like recipes or rather ingredients, and then in 5e you're given more of recipes.
I see what you're getting at, like the kind of like it feels like the parts got bigger and more like opaque and didn't really like cover the same kind of like nuance and detail to like the way that it was structured about, so it feels kind of like weak and in presentation. It doesn't feel filled out enough because it's not satisfying that itch for you, and I think I get that.
Yeah, and I don't know, I've gone back and forth on how I feel about the advantage disadvantage thing, because I feel like advantage is not necessarily an advantage, right? Because like let's say this thing is a DC 18,
Yeah.
and you roll
16 and up,
and you roll a 16 and a 4. That advantage didn't help you. But if you had like a +2 bonus to the thing, like in 3.5, that 16 would have been a success.
right.
And you wouldn't have even had to worry about the 4.
Yeah, I guess I can see. Yeah,
And
I mean,
listen, I'm sure
yeah.
that there are statisticians that are way smarter than me
Sure,
that
sure.
would be able to show me data that shows
Yeah.
that advantage disadvantage is
They
actually
can just
more
like
fair.
to the elbow with information.
I just miss the idea of if I'm completely honest, it's
Yeah,
a
please do.
selfish role play thing that I miss, especially as a support class where you get to remind people of their bonuses. Because it was my favorite thing as a bard to just like combat starts and your boy is playing an instrument or singing or whatever it is, and
you
everybody
always
in
get
like a 60-foot radius gets +1 to everything, to like to their saves, to their attacks,
which is I think yeah,
and
that is a yeah.
And so when it comes around,
I do
and
like
it's
that more.
And then it's like, oh well, what's the DC? Like, let's say you're trying to hit somebody and you roll, and it's like, oh, 15, and then here I am, like in the corner, like +1, and they're like, oh yeah, I hit him.
Yeah, that just feels good.
It feels better to me than like, oh, this roll was better than that one, so I'll just use it.
Yeah, I guess like I've never really been a fan of like chance in games, which is weird because I do like a lot of roguelikes, but like I've never really had like that kind of like good luck with like getting extra rerolls or like whatever. It's like I'd rather just have like a flat bonus to it and just not fuck around with it, because like the more dice I roll, the worse it's gonna get.
Also, like,
but I do think there is something nice about like just dumping. Like, that's always the most satisfying.
Yeah. Well, there's just
it feels like you're dropping the biggest dick in the locker. Like you just dropped and you're the biggest dude in the locker room and you just like fly.
Yeah.
Never not that ever, but yeah, no, I'm not stealing Bert Kreischer shit, but
Arnaldo Mangini.
Tell me more.
Which actually might be the name. I might actually make that the name of this episode.
Yeah, it's good.
Just to give him some promotion. Okay. Arnaldo Mangini is a magician. I don't know where he's from. I should look it up. But he's this guy on TikTok, and he looks like Mr. Bean.
Oh.
But he's not Mr. Bean. And he's a magician.
Okay.
And his name is Arnaldo Mangini.
That's awesome.
It's pretty fantastic. Also,
even if he's not good at it, I
he
still
is.
I was gonna say I know he
Here's
is.
the thing.
But even if he wasn't, I'm still about it.
He's so
just for the sake of it. Like
he's so.
How can you not have a smile on your face when you think about that?
He's so fun. He'll do whatever the thing is, and then whenever the thing happens, he'll be like, "What?"
Yeah, you got like the Mr. Bean expression.
He'll put a bunch of rubber bands into a thing, and then take them out, and they're all connected, and he'll be like, "What?" It's so crazy. And he looks like Mr. Bean.
That's awesome.
Super weird. Speaking of super weird, my wife and I also today saw a commercial for it's okay. I'm gonna try and describe this.
Yeah, please do.
It's IV treatment.
Okay.
Just like on the go. Like they just come to your, like it was, the commercial was presented in such that it was like a corporate solution. Like, are your employees getting IV treatments? So these people come around in a bus. It's like a van.
Yeah.
And I guess they just fucking hook people up to IVs and administer stuff to them. But it's just like kind of bizarre, don't you think?
I'd be down.
Maybe. I don't know. But the name of the company
I'm too trusting.
is Thrive.
I bet it is.
But the IV is
of course
separated.
It's like
there.
the arrow in the FedEx logo, Charles.
It is like
once you see it, you can never unsee it.
That's right. Yeah. It's like what is the one that Danny talked about, the Hartford Whales logo?
Oh yeah, something.
There's
like
a
that.
bunch of them like that, man.
I've been getting back. I've been listening to a lot of like early Game Grumps again.
Oh yeah,
before we're going to bed.
Oh yeah. Dude, that stuff's so funny.
Oh.
I feel like there was a weird server update in this simulation in like 2015 or something. Maybe it all started with Harambe. Maybe that's where it all started going downhill. You think?
He was innocent.
Harambe, and then everything since
Dick's
has
out.
just been worse. I feel like
If your dick's not out right now,
every year since Harambe
I'm on camera, so I can't.
has been weirder than the last. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, probably. It has been gradually getting weirder and weirder.
Weirder and just like more stressful, and
It's very bizarre. I mean, like,
it's because I don't know.
do you remember when the government like just declassified some pictures of UFOs and like nobody cared?
Oh yeah, I do.
There was a point in time when like the ocean was on fire.
Oh, dude. Nobody cared at all. There's so much of that stuff. And you know what's really weird?
Remember
Is
those
like,
obelisks that were just showing up?
oh, yeah. We just moved on.
Elon bought Twitter.
This is just a reminder. We still don't know what happened to Malaysian Airline Flight
Yeah.
370.
Yeah. There's a few
It
cases
just
of that kind of
fucking
shit.
disappeared. And we still don't know. And then they did this. I watched an hour-long documentary on it that was made recently. And
Yeah.
they still don't fucking know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Like, they start it with like,
You know, I
look,
think,
we got this great news. We got this new technology. We got this, and they're like, we think it crashed here, so we're
There
gonna
was,
look here.
That's yeah. I'm not happy that we still don't know, but like I think if I'm not mistaken, Amelia Earhart or someone similar, most likely landed up on this island where coconut crabs come out at night, and like those coconut crabs are like the ones that you see like grabbing onto garbage cans. So she most likely got ate
By crabs?
Yeah. Have you seen coconut
I
crabs?
don't know if I believe that.
Have you seen coconut crab?
No, it's not that I don't think that the crabs could accomplish it. It's more so that like I think it would be way unlikely for her
I think
to
there
have
was, like-
survived a plane crash only to be eaten by crabs.
Like landing on the water and then swimming over to the island that's closest to you.
I don't know, man. It was like
Could
what,
be.
1930?
What's the alternative answer then? Like that she just disappeared? Like, whoop.
Well, I mean,
I think crabs seems more likely. I do think it's the most likely scenario, just based on like Occam's razor, is the thing that requires the least amount of like requirements to be met.
well, the least amount of requirements to be met would be that she just fucking crashed, and then
Well, I think
it was
the thing is, like,
1930, so they didn't
I don't
have
know, like,
lidar or any way to
I
like.
feel like there was I'm probably wrong about this, but I feel like there was like a situation where like they were able to find like a campsite or something that happened to be like very close to where they think that the plane landed based on like the coordinates. I'm talking completely out of my ass, by the way. But like I think like I feel like that hit that like that's how I remember it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I could be full
I'm
of shit.
sure that now we can triangulate it, but it was 1937.
Yeah.
So, like, I think for me, the Occam's
Now, I'm
razor
gonna
is
check
that it's
something
like,
on my phone.
well, she crashed, and it was 1937, so they did their best
I forgot that,
trying to find her, but it was 1937.
I was talking with,
So-
sorry, I opened up my Safari and I forgot that like the last thing I Googled was Feraligatr back sprite. Because I was talking with Bobby and he was like talking about some Pokemon
Feraligatr backspike.
back sprite because they gave him like way too much cake. Like it doesn't make any sense why they gave him like cheeks, you know? Like,
Okay, well,
Like,
now you have to send me that picture
I
so
will.
that I can
Oh,
put
I
it
will.
up.
well, I was talking. We were talking about 'cause,
Man,
like, there was,
I didn't know. Man, we took a hard right turn into Feraligatr cake.
Yeah,
That was.
that's a good title for the
I
episode.
did not see that coming at all.
Well, I didn't either. I forgot about it. We were talking about because like there was you know like all the YouTubers and stuff were doing the Pokemon Smash or Pass, and then I saw Iron Mouse did like instead she did a tier list of Pokemon based on if I would eat them and like how likely I would be to eat them.
God. Yeah, didn't some guy prepare them all? Wasn't there some guy that like had recipes and stuff for Pokemon?
I don't know about that.
Oh yeah. I think I've
No, I
seen
just
that.
meant like pictures of Pokemon and being like, yeah, that one seems tasty. That one doesn't.
No. I'm talking about the guy
Like,
who
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about right now. Like somebody's actually made recipes for Pokemon meat, like
It's
Taro
my-
shit. Is that what
It's
you're
my
telling me right now?
favorite thing. That
You
you're
gave me like all
it's
kinds
my
of shit about like the
favorite
coconut
thing.
crab theory, and then you're going.
It's my favorite thing that surprises you. Like, we started the conversation with
Yeah.
you talking about Feraligatr's ass.
The back
That's
sprite.
how the conversation
Yeah.
began.
His back sprite has cake.
And so I just mentioned, oh yeah, have you seen that crazy guy that does this? And you're like, how could you even? I can't even fathom.
No, I
that there
don't know
would
what the
be
fuck
a
you're
thing
talking
that
about.
would
You're
exist.
acting. The thing is that you're acting like I would like immediately get what you're talking about, and I'm just
Well,
like, I don't know
think
what the
you
fuck
should.
you're talking about.
If anybody in
I
the
haven't heard of
comments
that.
knows what I'm talking about, then okay. Well, that's all you have to say, though. You don't have to be like, why would I ever like?
I didn't feel like I was that aggressive
Like if it was
about
I asked
it.
you if you wanted to fuck a corpse or something. You were like,
Whoa. Yeah.
Charles,
Well, if we're talking about
what
like
are you
corpse
saying?
husband, maybe
Oh, dude, corpse husband.
he does have a nice
That
voice.
guy. You think? Do you think that face reveal thing was real?
I don't
I
care.
think he's ever gonna do. I don't care either. But it is interesting. Like that's like we were talking about earlier. Like with me leaving Facebook and leaving Twitter, I feel like I have a lot more time for things like,
Yeah.
reading and writing and. So we were talking about how like the new thing is gonna be unplugging.
I do think that
That's going to be the
next
new. That's going to be the new like trend among
thing. The youth.
the youth. Yeah, is going to be unplugging.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, think about it. Like, culture kind of cycles through like what is popular, like music and trends and like hairstyles and stuff.
True.
So it's not unlikely that like we're kind of like having a nostalgia for a time that they didn't exist for seems alluring
right.
when everything else seems crazy.
I don't know. It's just the times they are a changing.
They are.
Things are getting weird.
I mean,
And
they
I already
been
feel
weird.
better. I feel like I've had a tremendous improvement upon my mental health in leaving Twitter and Facebook these last few weeks. It makes me want to get off IG and just be on TikTok.
Yeah,
I'm just
sorry.
like, you can find me on TikTok and YouTube, and that's it, homie. And on the Man Shorts channel.
Yeah, apparently, there's a theory that Amelia Earhart was eaten by coconut crabs.
Okay.
I mean, these things are fucking crazy. Like,
I didn't doubt that a person could be eaten by coconut crabs. It just seems to me that like,
look at that guy.
yeah, I know. But let me ask you,
Put it on the screen.
do you
Share it to your friends.
do you
Amelia
think,
Earhart ate by crabs.
do you think it's more likely that she was eaten by crabs, or more likely that they just didn't find her because it was 1937?
Probably the latter.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
So that's what I'm saying. Well, of course it's fun, but
Yeah.
it's also fun to
Trying to have
like
a fun
act
time
like
with
she
you,
just
Charles.
disappeared because there's this triangle on the planet where time
Well,
stops.
I'm-
It's
yeah.
just like-
Yeah, for real.
Time's a construct anyway, folks. There's no. Oh shit! You know what Mike
Time
Tyson
doesn't exist.
said?
Clocks do.
Dude. Listen to this.
I'm gonna eat this Rice Krispie thing.
Go for
We
it.
talk about that.
I'll tell you about what Mike Tyson said.
I'm gonna tell you about this Rice Krispie thing.
Okay.
So, what
So
about Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson said,
What did he say now?
before Julius Caesar gave us our modern day, well, I shouldn't say modern, the Gregorian calendar, pretty much since we invented the calendar.
Right.
How did you know how old you were?
You wouldn't know.
Isn't that insane
Yeah.
to think about? That people just walked around until they died.
Yeah.
And there was no, like, I feel like time is so important for us as humans for like structure. It's
Yeah.
imperative. And I can't imagine the chaos before we had like some numbers to look to, so that there was at least some semblance of like
Yeah, but I feel like it's one of those.
what's going on in our universe.
I feel like it might be one of those situations where like ignorance is bliss. Like you may think that now, but like if you were in their mindset and their time, like this would seem like a curse.
True. That is true. We do have a lot more things to worry about, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, we have
All
less.
imaginary.
We have less.
It's literally all imaginary too.
Most of them, yeah, are
Yeah,
invisible monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So,
what a
is it
what a
really
Bill
like a
Burr
benefit?
Bill Burr special was Paper Tiger. Lots of that shit going on.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy, right? Like with IG and TikTok, like the filters and stuff. Like
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
even have to be who you are.
No.
There's people on there. I
Dope
told you.
VTuber.
Yeah, I told you last week there's people on there that just sit there. There's some people, and these people are really smart. I'm actually thinking about doing this, if I'm honest. There's people that will set up a camera. They'll set up their phone in like the bathroom, like near the shower, so that it's like off a little bit. And it'll just be a loop video. But it'll say, when gifted this, I'll bear all, or whatever. And it just runs, and simps just go in there and just send money to this thing, and then they're like, what happened? The person didn't come. And it's just like, whoa. That is genius.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what Amaranth does all the time anyway.
Who?
Amaranth.
I don't know who that is.
She's the one that had like the pigeon head, like the pigeon ASMR on Twitch. You know what I'm talking about?
Pigeon ASMR?
Oh yeah, it's the funniest shit ever. The only reason why I know about the pigeon thing, that Rice Krispie treat.
It's not treating you very
me.
good. Well, to be fair, it's the Walmart Rice Krispie treat. It's not the name brand. So.
And I'm just washing it down with great value water.
Oh my God.
We all
belong to Walmart. We all work there now, folks. If you don't work at your local Walmart already, you will soon.
What the fuck was I saying? That dumb shit.
I have no idea. Amaranthian or some
Oh,
person?
yeah. Wubby. There's like a clip of Wubby, and he's like, sorry guys, hang on, I gotta go check on my bird. And he double says, and it just cuts over to Amaranth, and she's like, just got this beak, like just wearing the pigeon mask, just like pecking out the microphone. It's the funniest shit.
Just insanity. I saw some clip the other day.
She makes a lot of money.
What's that girl's name? Minx? Is that her name?
That sounds like one of them.
There's one of the gamers, one of those, that whole. They're like the Brat Pack of this generation.
Yeah.
They're all just like streamers.
Yeah, it's the same with like OTK, I think is the group. It's the one that's got like all of the big like gamer guys in it. Like
yeah,
it's like whatever.
No, it's OTV.
No, I think it's OTK. The one that's like Asmongold is in, and
okay,
all of them.
Yeah, OTV is like Sykkuno and Valkyrie and Pokimane.
It sounds like they're probably like affiliated.
Probably, yeah. They all know each other. Anyway, I saw some clip the other day of that girl Minx and like a couple of those other kids, and they were doing something.
Yeah,
and I felt like an old man because I was like, I don't get why this is funny. I don't get why this is interesting. Like, it doesn't offend me. I just don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't know. But I need to capitalize on that.
I
need to figure out how to make money doing that stuff.
The one thing that like is really irritating is when you have like and like, don't get me wrong, get your bag. Like, I'm not trying to like rag on them for doing this because it works. But like that like having the text to speech donations and then like the pretty girl like pretending like she's getting like got with like some kind of like dirty thing or like something inappropriate. They're like, oh my God, like they didn't like, you didn't know exactly where they were going with that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's like, and it's like every single thing. It's like, oh my God, shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
that's just that irritates me just because it's like, okay, well then you're gonna churn that out like a million times. Like, again, get your bag. Like, hey, if I could selfie pics, I would.
Well, you probably could.
Probably. I can't imagine.
But the thing is
here's
that,
a freebie.
The thing is that it's like we were talking about earlier, where like when you're talking about commerce online, online in general is kind of the Wild West, right? That's why we have all this shit going on where like, you have some people screaming censorship and you have other people screaming like free speech and
Elon Musk said that he would let Trump back. But then Trump was like, nah, I'm more like with the Truth Social one.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, motherfucker, no.
He's going to stick with truth.
I think he's gonna fold over and go back.
He probably
to Twitter.
will come back.
He had like what 187 million followers on Twitter, some shit like that.
I
Like,
still
more
think,
than people that voted for him.
I still think that there's a lot of disillusioned people when it comes to Twitter. I think that they're expecting a revolution, and it's just not gonna come. Because here's the thing: how would you know that there was a difference? Just like your shit isn't removed. I mean, I guess.
I don't know.
But
As somebody
it's
who
just,
doesn't
for me,
like,
it's like, where's the tipping point? Like, when will come the time when someone, what happens if what happens
the
if
slippery slope
boycott
argument.
Tesla is trending?
I think he is smart enough to know when like to say something like that to tank the stock in it, so he can like buy up a bunch of it, and then
Oh,
go
that's
past it.
true. Fuck, he'll probably do a bunch of that shit on purpose.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's that. It's
About the
bad,
monetization.
It's the
of it.
bad baby thing from Dr. Phil.
Yes. Anyway, I just feel like there's a lot of people who, similar to back when they were backing Trump in 2016, who were like, Elon's our guy, man. All of this censorship has gone on for long enough. Once Elon takes the helm,
He's not.
we
listen.
are gonna be saying whatever, and I think they're gonna be really disappointed to find out that like libel is still a thing.
Yeah.
like-
Also, like,
Threats are
he's not
still illegal. Like
he's not a friend of yours. He's not cool.
that too, because
It's the same with Trump, man. It's like you're gonna boldface tell me that you think you'd be allowed into Mar-a-Lago.
they're not your friends, folks. It's
Like,
the rich
really?
and us. Oh, John Morant.
John Moran.
Oh man, we didn't talk about the NBA, and I did want to speak quickly about the NBA. Poor John Morant got injured. These were his stats from the other night. The 47 points. 47 points.
47.
8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals,
That's 5 more than the beginning of the year.
5 3-pointers made.
Jesus Christ.
He's out of control, but he's hurt.
Oh.
And they're in the playoffs, and it's sad. I mean, honestly, they probably didn't stand much of a chance against Golden State anyway, because
Are they better?
Steph Curry and
yeah,
dude.
That's all you had to
Well,
say.
I shouldn't say it like that, because the
mean,
Grizzlies
yeah,
are nothing
that's
to
fair.
the Grizzlies are nothing to sneeze at, man. And Ja is that dude balls like nothing I've ever seen. But he got hurt, and I didn't see what happened. But speaking of balling, dude, there's this dude named Bertans who plays for the Dallas Mavericks, and I watched that cat sink like 4 3-pointers in a row the other day in the playoff game.
Nice.
Just wilding. Just like, who is this guy?
Just douche, 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 douche.
And that'll be so. The Suns and Mavs are tied 2-2. The Heat and the Sixers are tied 2-2. The Golden State Warriors are up 3-1, and I think the Bucks are up 2-1 over the Celtics. I'm actually facing the Celtics in my 2K game right now in the playoffs, or the Bucks. We are the Celtics. I'm playing against the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo is just
I love that name.
problem.
Speaking of games, I started playing Vampire Survivors. I was surprised to see a bunch of like different people on
Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, it's really simple. It's like you kind of like run around the map, and it's just like hordes of enemies. Like it's like a top down, and you get different like attacks and spells and stuff. And you can like upgrade them and then like evolve them and stuff. And it's just like spinning sides and like beams of light, and then just like
Oh, is it like it sounds like Hades meets like Diablo.
yeah, kind of.
Cool.
It's like $2.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I might cop that myself. We played a little more. We played Hell Let Loose last night. It was a disaster, man. I was driving a tank. Because, like, some of them, not always, but some of the tanks are manual.
Oh.
And, dude, it's 1940. So, like, holy fuck,
Like,
man.
wow.
I'm in 4th gear, I'm doing 30.
Oh.
Like, yeah. And it takes so much to, like, shift gears, just to shift gears. And then you have to go all the way down if you need to back up. You have to go all the way back down to reverse. And just moving around, maneuvering is difficult enough. And then, God forbid,
Otherwise,
you
like,
get hit with anything.
It's usually like just a joystick.
Oh, no. In this game, it's so in depth. It's like it really was. You have the dude that's driving, you have the dude that's shooting, and then you have the dude that's telling what the driver and the shooter to do.
Yeah. You had mentioned that. I just meant like for the actual tank controls, it being a joystick as automatic as opposed to like having to manually change the gear when you want to move around.
Some of them are automatic, but some of them are manual, and it sucks when they're manual because it just makes it so much harder. And then if you get hit with anything, then you can't shift gears. Then you're really fucked. That happened to us last night. We got hit with a missile or like a bullet or a tank round or whatever. I'm sure there's a real name for it. We got hit, and they were like yelling at me to go, and I was like, I can't get out of first gear. I can't get out of first. And I was like slamming the fucking, but it's like, oh no, your shit was damaged. Like you have to have somebody get out and repair that shit.
Oh man.
Or just deal with the fact that you can only drive in first gear now.
Yeah. Make two.
Oh man.
I've also I started because I actually like pulled out my I found my 3DS. And I opened it up, and I have like a couple games on there, like the first Legend of Zelda, the second Legend of Zelda. So I say the second, but I mean like A Link to the Past. And then
that's the third.
I think so.
It's the best one, though.
Yeah, I would say so. That it's tied with the first game with me
objectively.
I think
in terms of content, because I mean it's as big as the first one. It's just prettier.
Yeah, that's true, but I think also like as a result, you get kind of like corralled around the map as opposed to like the free exploration.
That's true.
Because like first one, I'm telling you, the first and like I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't play the first Zelda game until like 2 years ago.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'd never really like sat down to play it before.
It's fun, man. It's hard as fuck.
Oh yeah, well, lo and behold, I was like fucking around and I found like the entrance to the 8th dungeon out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, I'm just allowed in. Like, oh, I can just come in here.
Yep. If you get there.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, that's clearly not where I need to be. So then I like dipped out and like it took me like, because I'm really bad at like maps, which is weird because I really love the Soulsborne games.
But it goes a lot to Aaron's points that he made in the sequelitis.
Yeah. I think for the most part, although I would say the one thing I think, I do think Ocarina of Time is a lot of like waiting, but I feel like a lot of like earlier Zelda games is like mindless mobs. Like it doesn't feel as intentional. You know what I mean? Like there is a lot of intentionality in Ocarina of Time. I think it like whether he likes it or not, like the way that the mechanics work, I think that is how they intended it. Like it was very much like specifically what like Majora's Mask not as much, even though I personally like the aesthetic and like the gameplay more. It's just it wasn't the same kind of like beast that Ocarina of Time was.
Yes.
Like they did put a lot of effort in. So like even though like you're right that it's weird to just shoot a thing at the thing, but also it's the same as said to like push a statue and push a button. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of splitting hairs here. Like you're looking for things that you're not. Like you're looking at something and seeing it in both of them and only calling it out in one.
Well, I think another thing we have to remember too is just how revolutionary that shit was at the time. And Aaron makes a joke about it in the thing, like at the time. But that is a really important thing to consider. Like,
don't get me wrong, it looks like death.
It's trash, but not when I was fucking 9.
No,
are you kidding me?
I think
that
it
shit
also
was
like
lit as fuck.
I think it has to do with like the same reason why like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is so good, because like you don't ever really see chainsaw hit person.
Did we talk about how I saw the ending of that recently?
No,
I think we did.
Maybe?
It's so good. The original, it holds up. I watched the ending, like the last 5 minutes.
I love
like,
it. The original one is still the scariest
from
one.
When she's running out of the house to the end,
to when she gets in the back of the truck.
Gorgeous, man. It's just
beautiful.
So scary.
It is genuinely
and
like
when you look at it objectively, it's goofy, but like when you let yourself get in it, it's fucking scary, man.
And, well, I mean, I think the thing about it, the reason why, and it was like my film teacher that had brought this up to me, and like once he said it, it was like I can't not see this now,
right?
it is when like it's a limitate. This is where I fell in love with like people who like use the limitations of their medium to their advantage. And it's similar to that in there where it's like they don't have the budget for like a bunch of like kills and stuff. It also will like trigger the sensor, like trigger the warnings and stuff. They won't be able to show it.
Right.
So as a result, they play in your head instead.
Yes.
Which is 10 times worse than anything you can actually show me.
Yeah,
is
that's
making me think it.
That's what Bobby's opinion on the new Godzilla was. He said that the reason that he liked the new Godzilla so much is because you barely see him.
Yeah, and
it's all like unsaid.
It makes it makes it have a lot more impact when you do see it. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
It's the same reason why Heath Ledger's Joker popped out so much, because you didn't get like the whole movie wasn't the Joker, but like every time every time those moments came in, it hit with such like severity.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You weren't saturated.
I don't remember fuck all about Dark Knight except for like his scenes, except for the pencil trick scene.
Yep.
The scene at the party.
Yeah, where he's leaving the party when he's leaving the hospital and hits the button and it like
the interrogation scene.
Yep.
The scene where he's talking to Dent in the hospital.
The clapping in the cell.
Yeah, dude, it's all Heath shit that I remember. And it's like, I remember a couple of things. He had to make a choice to save somebody, and like there was a bank robbery at some point, but
yeah, I don't care.
Everything else I remember from that movie is Heath.
Yeah.
So, also, I'll say two other quick things. I've been watching Billy the Kid on Epix, and I really like it. I'm a fan of Billy the Kid. I don't know if you know anything about him. Have you ever seen
old
those?
School.
The Outlaw.
No, not really.
I
never really got into like cowboy stuff or like outlaw stuff.
I do on certain things. I like historical stuff.
Yeah.
But Billy.
I've also never really been the biggest fan of Western movies.
Yeah. Some of them are real dry and it's a lot. But some of them are really great.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, of course.
Case in point, like some of those from the 90s, Tombstone.
I love like Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, that
counts.
Count.
That has to count.
Okay.
Comment below if it counts.
Listen, it's Western is its
secondary. Good for the SEO.
Western
it's good for me. It's
secondary
good for you.
Genre. Its primary is comedy, and I think we all know that because it's Mel Brooks.
Yeah, but it's still like you could find it in a Western.
It is classified as a Western.
That's all I needed to hear, baby.
Thematically,
that's it.
Yes, I'll concede to that. But the
Thank you
movies
for
of the
conceding
90s,
my point.
Tombstone, and there he is again. Still not done. Now I don't know what I was talking about, and it wasn't even your fault. Can you believe it?
Really?
It's dude outside's fault.
Oh man.
Yeah, who knows what
I got upstaged by that prick too.
Oh,
his maiden call is working because like he's even like corralling my shit now. That fucker.
Tombstone and Young Guns. And Young Guns is a very specific portion of Billy the Kid's life where he worked for a cattle rustler, or I shouldn't say rustler, a cattle rancher. Cattle rancher named
You should say wrestler.
Some John Tunstall. And
that's not a confusing name at all.
Yeah, well, he was part of the Lincoln County War, which was like this war between ranchers where like a bunch of people died.
Oh, what did you think of Skeleton Knight?
I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to talk about that. I've only watched one more episode.
Okay.
But I loved it.
It's fantastic.
The one where he saves the Dark Elf girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super in. Like,
He's
I'm
a
on
wonderful
board.
character.
It's great.
It's fun.
If anybody hasn't seen it, what's it called?
Skeleton Knight in Another World.
Skeleton Knight, and it's Knight.
Yeah. Also, like, you know,
Skeleton Knight.
Be advised, like, you're in for some good shit when, like, Crunchyroll has, like, the disclaimer at the beginning. It's like, oh, fuck yeah, it's about to be lit.
Yeah, the opening scene is
pretty rough.
It can be triggering.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I would say, like, SA.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Sexual assault.
Yeah, it's pretty vicious, but I think it's worth it.
But yeah,
nothing bad happens.
Yeah,
really.
no, he cuts them in half. Yeah, he cuts. He fucks them up.
Yeah,
so
does.
It's like, you're good.
I love
it's
it. And the little what's the little thing's name? Ponta's great. Yeah. Cottontail Fox. That's what she called it.
I also like the pink-haired elf girl. Of course, obviously becomes like his companion.
Yes.
But yeah, he kind of reminds me of there was another character in I forget which one it is.
Subaru.
No, because he's not a simp.
That's true.
Um,
He seems. I will say, of all the isekai genre stuff I've watched, his reaction seems to be the most authentic.
the most normal.
Yeah, I think maybe Overlord.
Overlord,
close,
yeah.
But this feels very much like, oh, this is just what I would
say
be
that,
like.
I would
in
say the
this
thing
world.
about like Overlord is that like he's familiar with the people. Like the problem is
He's
that,
familiar with the rules of the game. And
well,
the
he's
world.
familiar with like where he's at. Like he has other people that it's brought with him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like an isolated thing, and also like he's had like like some of the emotions don't work. Like when Albedo tries to fuck him, which is like all the time. As soon as he gets excited, the game shuts it down and like kills his boner literally, because he's made of bone. Yeah, like he like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I would say like you would really like Mushoku Tensei if you haven't seen it, the one with Rudius.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch that one?
I haven't. No.
Oh God,
I know I need to catch up on that.
You would no, dude. You don't understand because like you would love Rudy as a character because of like who he is. Like before he gets there, his character is like a really heavy set. Like he's just a shut in.
Yeah.
And like you find out later on, obviously, that he was like tormented at school and stuff. Obviously,
Just some like fat virgin otaku.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That is, like literally, and then he gets like reborn into the baby body, and then like that's why he's like always super horny about everything. But like,
right.
he's still like obviously like he's still working towards being a better guy. But like,
I feel like you almost have to expect a dash of etch in like almost everything.
yeah,
Depending on
it's
what
required.
it is,
It's a requirement.
but like
Yeah.
it's always
You got to
gonna
get
show
people to
up.
watch the show.
But I mean, to be fair, like there's etch in everything.
Half of the
life,
people that
right?
watch, like literally half the people that watch, like even like Sword Art Online,
Yeah.
it's because they're there for like the girls.
Oh,
Even like
and-
One Piece. Look at One Piece. Like,
Yeah. And I didn't know this and I haven't seen it. So there's no chance for a spoiler. In fact, it might be helpful. I'll tell you what, this is proof that I don't watch a lot of Marvel movies because I didn't realize that there's a scene post credits on the last episode of Moon Knight.
oh yeah,
And I need to watch that.
oh shit, okay.
And I've already
I
read
need
what
to
it
watch
is.
Moon Knight.
I've already read what it is, so it'll kind of be like watching an anime with you, you know? But
Actually,
I still want to watch it.
there's an anime that I don't know when it's coming out yet. I know it's coming out, but it's called Chainsaw Man. And
Oh, I'm in, dude.
it looks awesome. Like I'll show you the trailer after this.
Oh man, one time I
But
posted
I
a thing.
haven't read anything, and so like it would be like like fresh.
One of my favorite things I ever posted on social media, and that made me think of it. I said, I couldn't be more awesome if my arms were chainsaws.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But
The one
dude,
that the term that I heard, and I forget who said it, like, but in like a high school or whatever, but it was like, I'm as impartial as a clam, because they were like, why would you say as happy as a clam? Like, if anything, like they are nondescript.
that's true.
They are clearly not motivated in any way, shape, or form. They are impartial.
Seem pretty apathetic, yeah.
Yeah. Can you think of any animal that's more apathetic than a clam?
Sloths? Well, no, because even they still like have shit to do.
Maybe like I mean, you'd be getting down to like, isn't some like coral structure technically alive?
Yes.
So then
The
like,
Great Barrier Reef is considered an animal.
yeah, which is crazy that it's.
Coral is an organism.
Don't
in
forget,
that
by the way, everybody, don't forget that there's a giant patch of garbage.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
Garbage
ocean.
Island.
Yeah, the Northwest Gyre Patch.
Yeah, that's
Don't
not,
ever forget that we did that shit.
Yeah, that's not to say anything about all of the shit we have in our fucking atmosphere.
Yeah.
The space junk
You know,
that's
Atmosphere
around.
is coming soon.
Really?
Yeah. Do you want to go?
Maybe.
I would love to go see Atmosphere again.
That might. The first space hotel is going to be in 2027. I think.
No shit.
Yeah.
I would give my left nut for that.
It's
I'm
going to
not using
become
it anyway.
problematic if we're really going to go to Mars. Because if we're going to go to Mars, how the fuck are we going to travel with all of that shit up there? Like, we're going to have to be really precise about. I mean, I guess they still shoot rockets in there up to
Yeah.
space.
I mean, I guess you could.
But when you're doing it on mass like that,
what I would assume that would happen is they would make like a railway for a like a, what do you call it, like a railgun.
Oh, yeah.
So they would probably have like a train style railgun that would just like launch it.
Hell yeah.
That's probably how they do it.
But yeah, that
Isn't
Space
there like
Hotel.
a Stephen King? I feel like there's a short story about like a train that goes like towards the speed of light, and like it's like a horror short where it's like you get fucked up and assimilated and like changed and shit on it.
Probably.
I forget who did it, but
It sounds like King.
yeah, I feel like it was
It
Stephen
sounds
King.
like King.
In my head,
Like it's a
canon,
subway
it is.
train, and when you get on it, it splits all your atoms into pieces and puts them back together.
Actually, it might have been. I might be thinking of like an H.G. Wells or like early science fiction.
That's true. Or maybe Heinlein.
Maybe
Could have done something like
more
that.
likely Wells. I've read more. The Wells is like the only like of the like I haven't read the other guys. Work.
Wells was also more of a shit stirrer than Heinlein.
Yeah, so was like Edgar Allan Poe and like also fucking Lovecraft.
Yes.
Lovecraft is a perfect example of loving someone's art but hating the individual.
Yep.
Because like my God, what a piece of shit human being.
Yeah, man.
But then again, like Edgar Allan Poe fucked his first cousin, like and married her when she was 13. So like
Yeah, but
whatever.
man, that story about
the heart in the floorboards.
yeah,
was
man,
just, whew.
telltale heart. All right, folks.
All right, get
I
fucked.
think we're
Sorry.
follow us on.
Don't. Well, I mean, unless you want to get.
Follow us on
I guess.
Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not going to use those things anymore. I don't have a Facebook anymore. I don't have a Twitter. Well, I have a Facebook at this moment.
We do have
But I
a
won't
No
for
Big
long.
Banana TikTok. We haven't posted
We
to
do,
it yet.
and we haven't, but
If
we're gonna.
people actually like follow it, then I will ask Charles for like the content and I'll start clipping shit out.
Oh, yeah, man. I'll start making some TikToks because I don't have anywhere else to post.
Yeah. It's at No Big Banana. For some reason, nobody thought of that on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Also, Pontius the Pilot. I got away with that one.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
surprised.
Well, I have Yahzick everywhere, so that's not true. I actually never had it on Twitter. Another reason for me to leave.
Yeah,
I was
except
never Yahzick on
Rip,
Twitter.
Rip Hobson follow me though.
Oh, yeah. That does
It will
suck.
always be enshrined in historical
I'll
memory.
always know that. I'll
Yeah.
always know you follow
Facts.
me, Hop. All right, everybody.
Dax, what's up?
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Let us know how you like this setup. I
Yeah.
find it more comfortable.
I'm cool
I
with it.
enjoy it more. If you like
I'm
it,
down
it's
with it.
cool. You get to see my PC. That's pretty neat.
Like I was telling him
and
before
my
the
Einstein
podcast.
and my other Einstein
I was
picture.
telling him before the podcast. It feels like I'm in the sunlight and you are already in the Matrix. In the breakup, and that feels very, very fitting for the
Yeah,
way that
bro.
we.
I'm already halfway. I've got a foot in.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
you're like Satan and Smiling Friends. You got like the vape stick and like the drinks.
All right.
Okay,
Thanks for joining us,
good.
everybody.